Late last year, Uttarakhand enacted a law which enabled greater control of the state on the 51 temples in Uttarakhand, including the Char Dham. Now, there was opposition to that, which came from BJP leader Subramanian Swamy, who filed a PIL against it, and the developments are now ongoing. I'm going to turn to Harsha Bhatt to give us the details.
Yeah, hi Karan. Subramanian Swamy had earlier this year filed a PIL challenging the Char Dham Devasthanam Management Act. So he has called it not only unconstitutional but also a violation of people's fundamental rights. So he says it's a violation of Article 25 and 26 of the Constitution, which deal with the freedom of religion and management of religious affairs.
Right. Harsha, what is this act exactly that was passed? Can you give us some details about that?
So the Char Dham Devasthanam Management Bill 2019 was passed in the winter session of the Vidhan Sabha last year. It was earlier called Char Dham Shrine Management Bill, and then they accommodated this request for calling it the Devasthanam Management Act. So this act leads to the creation of a board for the management of the 51 shrines in this hill state, which include the Kedarnath, Badrinath and the Gangotri, Yamunotri also, which see lakhs of devotees every year. So what happened is priests who feared the threat of this board on their traditional rights over the temple had vocally been opposing the passing of this bill, because the rights of these temples and their management is held by certain priestly families. So this bill then became an act after the government gave her assent in January this year. Now, according to the act, the chief minister will head this Devasthanam board, and its chief minister has to be a Hindu if he has to head it. If he is not a Hindu, then the senior most Hindu minister will head the board. But the worship, the dakshina and other type of religious rights and duties will stay vested with the local people, that is the priest. So nowhere would the daily rituals or running see any change in operation or protocol. So if you ask me what is the problem, then he has said the act is, in Subramanian Swamy's words, he calls it the holy, mischievous, unconstitutional and against the ideology of Hindutva. Whereas while those who defend this constitution of the board ask how is it that the constitution of a body for the better management of a temple headed by a Hindu alone, and that in its very constitution that every decision will have to be unanimous. So if it sees representation from priests, from the royal family, from the representatives of the hereditary piece of the Kedar Badri and these important shrines like Gangotri, Yamunotri, so where can it be anti or against the ideology of Hindutva? Because most of its constitution is Hindu, and those connected with the conduct of these temples will anyway be part of it, right? So how can you call just a systematization of affairs anti-Hindu? Because the act document specifies, Karan, that this board will supervise, direct and control all activities that may be conducive and incidental to the efficient management of the temples and the convenience of the pilgrims. So if you see, it is about management and conveniencing pilgrims. So why would anybody have a problem with that?
Right, but Harsha, doesn't this trespass over the basic principle that even the BJP shares, which is that releasing government control over Hindu temples? I mean, why extend this control over them, even if it's in the name of, say, greater management and efficiency?
See, obviously that issue is there. See, government on its part has said this is purely from an administrative point of view. As see, the number of people who visited the Char Dham last year, Karan, around was 33 lakh. So in its very mission statement, this act says that the objective is rejuvenation of these shrines. So they are not trying to take control over these temples or these religious sites, is what they say. So in response to its PIL earlier this week, I think around 11, the Uttarakhand government, objecting to Swamy's PIL, has said that in order to ensure better administration, management and to maintain transparency, to check misappropriation of funds and property and provide better facilities, convenience and hygiene to the pilgrim. This is its mission statement. Anyone who visits any of these shrines is very well, put through the kind of disorder there is. For example, I was just thinking about this in the context of Kashi. See, larger issue of temple control and what Dr. Subramanian Swamy is intending to talk about, mapping it to the southern Indian struggles, is something not to be addressed in such a haphazard fashion, because a body that includes, among others, priests and headed by a Hindu CM you don't see any loophole there as of its basic constitution. So our one line view in this entire issue is clear. Yes, the temples should be managed by those who belong to the ecosystem, the Hindus, the society of devotees, and the connected stakeholders. But as it is now, held by a few families, that's also not an ideal way to function, right? Especially for a shrine that sees lakhs of devotees and needs upscaling of infrastructure and management also at the same level. For example, if you see the Kashi Corridor project, ask a devotee what would he like. Like, would you want a shrine that is run by hereditary priests, but you have to somehow make do like those serpentine lanes, all that is making go. I mean, whatever we are letting go of right now in Kashi for a better Dham experience, because you want to go there, stay there for as long as you like, and not feel like it's almost a punishment. Like many of, be it whatever the corrupt practices that are there, the usurping of land, all of this will be fixed. Of course, after that, we need to put a system in place for the society and the Hindu devotees themselves to be in greater control of the temples.
Great, Harsha. Thank you so much for your insights.